Today we're going to be exploring Rome's Las Vegas, Baiae. This is a place where anything was possible, and the high and mighty of ancient Rome would visit. It was the thermal bath experience of the ancient world, located in Campania in the northern Bay of Naples, here in the Gulf of Pozzuoli. Now, so much of the city of Baiae is not visible today. It is sunken down into the Mediterranean due to slow-moving earthquakes called terraces. We will be exploring the archaeological site that is open to the public still today.
Baiae is the bays, and we're in the Bay of Pozzuoli, and you have an incredible series of terraced, let's say, pleasurable experiences at the baths, tapping into the heated sulfuric water that's gushing out on the side of the hill here. So you have villas of the rich from Rome coming down in Republican times. The core of this establishment is in fact a villa, but over time, emperors have their own villas here. For example, Hadrian dies here. And of course, it's known for entertainment, it's known for the food, it's known for the beauty of the Mediterranean, and you have an incredible contact with the waters down below, but at the same time, you have an unparalleled experience of bathing establishments because of the availability of these extraordinary hot waters gushing out from the sides of the hills. And Baiae then lives on famously and infamously, and it is one of the exclusive neighborhoods frequented by the rich and powerful of ancient Rome for centuries.
Our tour will first begin at the so-called Temple of Diana, a thermal bath complex erroneously identified as an actual temple by 17th century travelers. We'll make our way up to the villa of the Ambulatio, which consists of 6 terraces and dates back to the end of the 2nd century BC. So it's the initial core of the bath complexes, always taking advantage of the hot thermal waters that gushed out of the side of the hill. We'll then make our way down to the so-called Temple of Venus, and then through the baths of Sosandra dating to the Neronian period, and finally over to the complex associated with the so-called Temple of Mercury. It is the largest dome structure that predates the Pantheon. It dates to the Augustan era. Let's begin our tour. We start off then at the so-called Temple of Diana, which dates to the Severan period, and it had in its original form a dome that was almost 30 meters in diameter. So it's poorly preserved, but still we get a sense of the grandeur of this particular complex. And we make our way up past ruins that are incorporated into later modern structures as we make our way up to the archaeological site. It truly is a pleasant experience. It's always a joy for me to come to this site. There's great fish for you when you're done with your visit, and of course you'll meet lots of locals. Now here we are at the beginning of the Ambulatio top terrace. This core began its construction in the end of the 2nd century BC and goes through several modifications into the late Republican phase. And the terraces are joined by a series of staircases. And we do think of this entire complex, this initial core complex, as something of a public experience. You could come here, rent the rooms, and go to the various bathing establishments that are nestled within these terrace spaces. So we have great views, we have a great look onto the ruins, several layers of terraces down to this big open piazza. But of course we don't have the water gushing out from the sites today. We don't have the close proximity of the sea to us because the sea has receded and the city has sunken down into the water. But what we do get is elements of decoration, mostly imperial in date, from statuary to capitals of columns to beautiful mosaics that are all in situ, in their original locations that give us a great sense of how spectacular the so-called villa of the Ambulatio, all the walkways, was originally conceived of. And of course, you can explore around and see a lot of these sites and play Indiana Jones. And here's a portion of that first initial complex where we see where the water would have gushed right out. So the water has dried up, but we can see the telltale signs here is the hypocaust system for the elevated floors. The beautiful thing about Baiae is you didn't have to pay for the heating. You didn't have to stoke those fires the way that you do in the normal bath complexes in the Greco-Roman world. They took advantage of what nature offered them in this beautiful, beautiful landscape. Going to make our way down here to that temple right there, the so-called Temple of Venus. And as we make our way down a series of terraces, we can see that there's a great amount of the site we can explore today. The Villa of Sosandra is on our left. We're making our way to the right. We see lots of brickwork. We see lots of reticulate work. They're using opus reticulatum, facing the concrete walls with tuff nodules, as we have in the city of Rome, so too we have down here in Baiae. And we get great examples of the additional restructuring on this particular terrace in the imperial period. We see quite a bit of 2nd century brickwork. But initially the core of Baiae and these bath complexes are going to be constructed as the Republican period in Rome, with a lot of tuff nodules facing the concrete core walls. And pivoting, we can take a look now kind of across the street from the site, the so-called Temple of Venus, which is a Hadrianic era bath complex with a huge dome structure spanning over 26 meters. It is something extraordinary. This, like the Temple of Diana, was on the edge of the water. And there was a great connection with the sea. Today it's a little lost because we have the built-up port and harbor around this archaeological site. But look at the grandeur of this particular structure. So walking now into the Baths of Sosandra, named after a statue that was found on the site. And we can see here a lot of the walls still have the fresco work. Here it's protected by a modern portico. We can see that the fresco work actually goes over top the original paneling in marble. We have the telltale signs of that. But the fresco work in situ, on location, is simply extraordinary. And we have here a great pool surmounted by a hemicycle going up the way. And we're passing through now a covered walkway, an extraordinary passageway that links you up from the Baths of Sosandra over to the final portion of the complex of Baiae that you can visit today, and that is the area surrounding the so-called Temple of Mercury. But it is a phenomenal place to explore, well maintained. It's always a treat to come and explore.
There it is, the oldest poured concrete dome, unreinforced, from the ancient world, dating to the time of Augustus. It still stands, and the architecture is for a bathing establishment, as a frigidarium or a caldarium, and it is amazing that you can still go inside.
We're just below the Villa of the Ambulatio, off to the side here, heading to the complex of the Temple of Mercury, which of course is a thermal bath complex. Water gushed into it. We've got a Julio-Claudian or Augustan structure, largely intact. And it's amazing because all of this is going back over 2,000 years. We have here a slight detour. We're looking at this fig tree. Fig trees are notoriously very invasive in archaeological sites. This one has grown up upside down. It's something extraordinary to see. It resists, and of course, it flourishes in this particular condition here along the Mediterranean. Now back to our site, we'll go inside. Now when you make this dome, you're not pouring the concrete like you do for the Pantheon. Instead, you're laying tuff blocks nodules radially. So the way that you're making the first dome, the first large concrete dome, this is 21.4 meters across, you're making it in a slightly different way. It's pierced by windows, it's filled with water. So where is the architecture of the dome coming from? It's coming from a lot of bath complexes. We have even smaller versions in Pompeii that are even earlier. But this is the first large concrete dome, originally faced with marble. They are the telltale signs on the walls here, and of course the water still flows inside it. There's a lot of muck and accumulation of debris. It is much deeper originally.
Got this incredible bathing establishment once again in Baiae. Let's come inside here because here's something you probably haven't seen before, which is the dome space, still standing, Augustan age, or thereabouts, in Baiae, with incredible acoustic characteristics.
Everywhere you look, you still find pockets of water, even with fish in them. So here are places with tubs, with places to sit within this complex of the so-called Temple of Mercury. And we can really step back in time and imagine what it was like to be a bather, to enjoy these thermal spa experiences. Truly, it was the greatest bath complex experience that you had in the ancient world. The high and mighty were here in the late Republic, as well as the imperial period, even the emperor himself. And you can experience this as well. There's so much more in the Bay of Pozzuoli to experience. I'm going to take you back. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe. We'll have many more adventures together in the Bay of Pozzuoli, throughout Italy, throughout the Mediterranean. Thanks for watching.